Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Now, I know other people aren't the same species I am. I would never insult God. I would never do what they're doing. I would never persecute the most righteous person that ever lived. Now, I happen to be the most precious person ever possible, but you get my point. I do not naturally look like some kind of Greco-Roman society person, a frat person, some kind of corporate quote-unquote professional from San Francisco. I don't look like these people naturally, and I don't sound like these people naturally. But they are doing things to damage my brain and to restructure my face, what have you, to make it so I somewhat resemble. However, you should be very much alert and on guard for them trying to impersonate me. Just because I have to say that because of what they're doing doesn't mean it should be easy for them to pretend to be me. If you see the message drastically change, don't trust them. If you don't see that they have the tattoos I have, don't trust them. Okay? Even if my family was to pretend that someone else is me, you've got to be careful. Okay? You've got to be careful for that scenario. You can't trust anyone on this planet but me. You have to make sure that it is me. Their species is a species of people who are either mockers or can easily be made mockers. Okay? In Proverbs it says people detest a mocker. God detests the perverse in heart. In Psalms it says, I look at the faithless with loathing, for they do not obey your word. I am not in the spirit of Jewish people, any kind of Jew you can imagine. I'm not in the spirit of whites, any kind of white you imagine, or any kind of LGBT person. Okay, those spirits, like everyone else outside the divine order, are adverse to me. They're adversaries because they're trying to get you to come into their spirit instead of the spirit of God. And they made it so that I have to point it out in this time when people are crying over political correctness more than ever before. When cancel culture is at its pinnacle. Okay, it is unbelievable how far these people go to try to technicality me to death. How far they go to make funny frat mocker faces to try to provoke me. Can you imagine? Imagine being a 6'4" black person who strikes at world record speed, who's the top martial artist ever. And you see these feeble people gathered together, some big slow-minded brutes you could easily outmaneuver, some skinny little worms, some tall rats on stilts, so to speak. Circus clowns. And they provoke you every day because they weren't raised right, because they come from a long line of people who were not raised right, who never manned up for a moment. I cannot respect that. So here I say this in Morgan Hill, California. Like I've said these types of things in San Francisco and Oakland, on 7 Trees, you name it. I'm not afraid to say these things. Fair and square, even sabotaged. But these people would never in their wildest dreams stand chest to chest with me, okay, and insult God in front of me, unless I was sabotaged or in a coma or something. They would never do it fair and square because I am superior. God Almighty knows that is the truth. I am superior to all.